So I'm doing one more video on this same ball joint kit as an update. I was thinking I really didn't talk much about some of these other receiving tubes and stuff, like why is there cutouts in the, you know, that type of thing. So that's why I'm doing a second one. Sorry if you watched the first one and now hopefully you're not bored to death watching the video of the same kit here. And also, in case you were curious about my issue with the broken hasp, that has been resolved. Now I have metal hasps on here that I bought at Amazon and just screwed those in there, and I popped that one off. I broke that one off and I just popped that one off. And by the way, I just did that with my hands really easily. They're horrible latches. But that's why I'm doing a second video on this. I don't know if I should take the first video down or not. I think I had an epic fail on that first video, failing to even talk about these ones that have the cutouts in them. I just failed to talk about a few things. I am doing a second review on this OMT Master Ball Joint U-joint service tool sets from Orion Motor Tech. I did one review on it and posted it a little while ago, a couple days ago, and I had broken one of these sliding clips. It came with these little slider clips, and it fell a little bit almost to the floor. I caught it, but it still caught the edge of my shelf and just demolished the clip. So I broke the other one off myself and put some metal clips on it that I bought off Amazon. They're just these little things right here. I don't know how good they're going to hold, but actually they seem like they're going to hold really good. A multi-purpose toolkit manual. This manual, by the way, isn't that great. You know, when you look at the vehicles and it's supposed to show you the vehicle and which numbers to use for each vehicle, it looks like this manual is very outdated. When you're looking for in my case, a Ram pickup, I've looked, there's nothing under Ram, and under Dodge, it only goes up to like 2006, I think is there's an 08. But there's nothing for the newer generations or even 4th gen Ram. So, and then there's also a big mistake on one of the pictures where the whole clamp is upside down, it looks like to me anyway. The whole C-frame is upside down. So it's not the most wonderful manual, but at least it's something to kind of show you what the parts are and that type of thing. It's nice that it comes with 23 pieces when a lot of ball joint kits you know, are quite a bit smaller than this, and they leave you wanting you know, additional parts to put your ball joints on. Some kits you just completely don't have the right parts at all for your ball joints. If you're driving a car, Jeep, some Chrysler, some vans, Ram vans, even some older Ram pickups, I believe, have screw-on ball joints, and that's why they give you two of these. They're just basically big sockets, and these are the two common sizes for the screw-on ball joints. I have personally never done a screw-on ball joint. All of mine were the press-in type ball joints. I'm going to be using this kit to put ball joints on my 2015 Ram pickup. I'll do another update on how it worked and if I like it and that type of thing. But let me talk about the ball joints that I'm going to be putting in and talk about this kit a little more. Well, actually, first let's start with the C-frame here. This C-frame is heavy duty and very nice C-frame. And I'm going to get a tape measure out here. There we go. And I wanted to point out one of the things that I really like about this is that this C-frame, it's a little over 1/8 of an inch, like 3/16 of an inch, wider than a lot of the 6-inch ones. So I don't know, you know, that little bit of space right there, as you can see, over the 6-inch mark, that little bit of space might come in handy. Now, it's not the big monster one that's 9 inches wide for your bigger heavy-duty vehicles. I personally don't believe I have a need for that wide one on anything that I work on. If I do, I'll have to purchase that later. But one thing about this kit is it's $93 and change on Amazon. and it just comes with so much. It's to me, it was a decision. Do I want to buy the Harbor Freight Icon kit? There was a couple other ones I considered the Vevor. I just did some research to find, what do they come with and how much do they cost. The Icon kit has similar parts, but there's two things about that kit that I like better than this. I didn't pay for it because it was like 238 bucks, I think. But on the C clamp, it has, on the C frame, I should say, it has a flat area right here where you could put this in a vise a lot easier if you wanted to put this in a vise. I thought about that, and then I thought, I don't think I'll ever want to put this in a vise. I may want to put, my knuckle or something in a vise, but I don't think I'd want to put that part in the vise. The other thing I liked about the Icon kit was that the parts kind of fit together. They snap in and hold together better. And these are similar to a lot of other kits where they don't do that. But this was 93 bucks instead of 238, I think it was, at Harbor Freight for the Icon kit. As with a lot of kits that come with a lot of parts, it's nice that you have a lot of receiving tube sizes, because those kits that only come with a few of them, you may not have the right size when you're removing it. You may not have, depending on how the ball joint's made and all that kind of thing. This one's really big. It'll work. However, sometimes you just can't find that one that fits real good on it. But with this kit, you can. You can find all kinds of good. That one fits, but it's real snug. I wouldn't use that one. I'd probably use maybe this 19. Yeah, that would receive that pretty good. And of course, let's talk about these. Some vehicles have. You have to have this cutout in order to sit flat on the lower control arm or the upper control arm, either one, whether you're doing an upper or lower ball joint. There are some vehicles, some Fords, some Jeeps, that have, they just don't have enough of a flat spot on the control arm for this to sit. So that open spot is needed so the rest of it can sit flat on it and you can still push it out. So I don't use those very often, but you can still use it for other vehicles, and you have a nice visual there. So I might use that one on my lower ball joint here. This is a Mevotech ball joint. I'm going to be doing a review on those too. I've never had Mevotechs before. I've got this alternate forcing screw plug. It's nice that it comes with a smaller one. It's got the bigger one here. Pop that out, you'll see the little ball bearing, a little ball rolling around in there. So it spins a little more freely. But in some vehicles that have really small ball joints, you might need that little footprint right there. You might need that smaller one. It might come in handy for other things as well. Normally, I'd probably just end up with that heavier duty one there on my forcing screw. We got both of these for the lower and the upper. The tip of the forcing screw will go through it on here real nicely. It sits on there pretty nicely. This is, by the way, a lot of these are, really heavy duty feeling. Really, some of these are thinner than others. Like this one's really thick, and this one's a thinner gauge, but I think it's still going to be functional. These are really handy. These receiving cups, even for installing, these are really handy. You've got a few different sizes here, but like when you're pressing up a ball joint. And so when you got this sitting on the top of the control arm, you've got some space for this to go up into, and you can push it all the way up where this ridge will be flat up against the bottom part of your control arm. I saw a video of a guy saying that he went out especially to buy one of these because he didn't, I can't remember what video that was, or I'd give him props, but this is very handy. You got a bigger one here that has a hole in it that you might find a need for, and one that's just open. So I believe I'll probably use this one on the lower control arm for the ram. I'll just set that in there. That way I've got a lot of space here to make sure I'm not hitting anything. If you've got something really short here, what happens if your clamp ends up tight on the edge or something. It'll probably force it over and go in fine, but there's a little bit of room there. You might use that one. Might try that one on second thought. Looks like there's plenty of room. This little guy here, we got an extension if needed. It can be used for several things, to align things in the bottom of some of these, or if you just need an extension, it's this side here. Yeah, it'll just kind of go in here to give you, it'll go in here just to give you a little bit more of an extension if you need it. This is called a remover. I've never used it. Let me know in the comments if you know of any other uses for this. In this kit, you should be able to find the correct one to receive it, to remove it, and in other words, it's receiving it as you're pushing it out, or when you're installing it. When you're installing it, you want to be right on this ledge right here. And a lot of times with those other kits, you know, that one's not going to be any good. This one, it's a receiving tube, but it'll work. For this particular job, that one's no good. You know, I like the way that one fits. See how that one goes right up against that ledge right there. And this receiving tube will work really good as an installing, in my case. And then of course, yeah, you can put one of those on the bottom because you got to have something to push up against. This I really like this number 5 for pushing on this ball joint. But what I like about this kit is you've got so many sizes here that you'll probably be able to find what you need to press on your ball joint. That is my quick overview of what this kit comes with. So you can kind of see with an example of a 2015 Ram lower control arm, lower ball joint. If that helps you kind of determine which ball joint kit to buy, this is a good option. I will put a link in the description for this one. I'm thinking I'm going to like this a lot, and that it's going to serve my purpose for everything that I need. If you do buy this one, be careful not to break your little latch, your plastic latches there, or you can put on some metal ones like I did, these little metal ones. Yeah, I like it a lot so far, just what comes with it. This thing has to sit just right for this to close enough, and that will latch on there nicely. So there we go. There we have the OMT Orion MotorTech ball joint kit. Thanks for spending time with me in my review on Gympressions. Right now I don't have an overall impression of this because I haven't used it yet. However, I will be using it, and I have a feeling it's going to work wonderfully. So we'll see if that's the case. But let me know in the comments, have you used this? What do you think of it? Or how would you rate this compared to other ones if you've had a lot of other ones? I have not had a lot of other ones. I had a smaller kit, but this is the first time I've ever had a larger kit like this. So thank you for joining me, and have a good day.